What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Klonoa 2 Lunatia's Veil. I, of course, am Whatthefnu, and in this episode, we are taking on possibly what I think is one of the most frustrating and aggravating stages in the entire game. The reason for which you'll see here in just a little bit, but for now, we're just gonna start things off with a bang here. Enemies dropping down on us from the sky, breaking open a side down here, and look at this down here. This is just a taste of what's to come. Oh yeah, they really expect you to do this. Now, to be fair, I have gotten that in one trip before, but it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do, especially because of the way Keaton's handle. Oh, barely didn't make it. Alright, well, at least I've got time here. That Moo, watch this guy. Sometimes he'll jump over that gap. Sometimes. It's rare, but he's actually screwed me out of getting out of there. The Keatons are the only way to escape that little pit, but I've had occasions where I've flown up with one only to have that guy jump over the pit at exactly the right time to screw me over and send me back down to have to get another one. He's a little troll is what he is, and I've had more than a few Oh, really? Come on! Stop wasting my time like that. Don't be wasting my time. Don't go meaning my love. Whoa, what the? Klonoa, over here. Yeah, you didn't expect this to become an element of anything, did you? You see all that purple stuff flying around in the air? This place is noxious now, hence the noxious La-lakoosha. There's poison everywhere. But it seems only the air around the statues is breathable. Yeah, remember how I pointed that out earlier? You didn't think anything was actually gonna become of that, did you? Nope, turns out that's an actual mechanic here, and not a very good one in my opinion, or at least not in terms of flow. I love games that don't force you to go back and do the same thing you've already done if it's not quite your fault, which is kind of where this falls into play. You see, you only have two real options here if you start running out of air. Just to tough it out and keep pushing your way forward despite not knowing what's coming up next and risking losing a life because of it, or backtracking all the way back to another statue so that you can refill the meter and try again. And I totally screwed that up right there. Let's just grab that guy one more time. Neither one is very good for keeping the pace of the game going, and look, I know people who have real problems with the fear of drowning, okay? My mom being one of them, and stages like this in games aren't helping. You might as well just put that Sonic 2 chime in here. You know the one. Yeah, that stress-inducing little set of notes right there. Oh, you. Don't forget to bust this guy open for the gems that make up his intestines. Ooh, that sounds like an SCP foundation, like a creature made of gemstones. Then again, they've got that sort of, that one story about the gemstone, the quartz, that it can actually turn anything else around it into quartz if it touches it, so, yeah, I guess they're kind of covered in that. Wait a minute, what? Oh, that was weird. That's not supposed to happen with the camera right there. I should just point that out. It's supposed to be able to follow you back there so that you can watch you land on that platform, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. I've had the most trouble getting this episode up, as indicated by the fact that the last episode of this series was updated, a little under 2 months ago. Yeah, I've been trying my absolute hardest to get more content to you guys as fast as possible, but I'm juggling a lot of different things right now. There's some big things happening in Team Pizza right now. A lot of assets I've got to put together, a lot of things I need to build, but in the end, it should be worth it, make the whole experience much better for all of you guys. So, as I've done in the past, all I can do is ask for your patience a little bit while I get my shit in order, so to speak. But enough about that, let's just hop right into the second section of the place. I gotta admit, this isn't nearly as bad now that I know what I'm doing, although that's a blanket statement that could be applied to a bunch of different video games, but yeah, I actually considered doing that a while back, the top 10 hardest bosses in video games. It was difficult, though, considering that my definition of hard is something that's difficult even when you know what to do. Like, you know, a lot of people like to talk about Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts, but that's just it. If you know the right combination of spells and attacks to use and when, he's a pushover. Okay, he's only hard when you're learning how to fight him. Once you know how to fight him, you're not going to have any problems whatsoever, especially considering Kingdom Hearts has gotten kind of ridiculous in what your characters are capable of at the later levels these days. But I digress. That's also why you'll hear people talking about why he's harder in the first game as opposed to the later ones. It's simply due to the fact that you had fewer options back then. You weren't nearly as sort of overpowered as you were back in the day, or later in the day, or what am I even trying to communicate right now? Yeah. Whatever I'm trying to communicate, I better hurry up because I'm running out of air to do it with. Good thing the door is right there. A lot more puzzles introducing those crystal guys from before. Have you noticed that? That element we were taught all that way back is still being experimented on and expanded upon? Like, all new ways to use it are still being introduced to you. I love games that figure out how to do that, or at least do it properly. Do it in moderation and mix all their elements together into one thing. Like, you'll notice, I don't know if we've encountered these disappearing platforms yet in the game, but they have a very prominent presence here. Now, this segment in here, this is another place where you can sort of screw the system, if you will, and get more gems than you're supposed to. You have to be careful, though. You need to know exactly what you're doing. You see that trail of 3 gems going up? Try not to collect that. Just kind of make your way over here and jump over if you can. Oh! Well, I nabbed one. It's hard to avoid that one on the top, though. It really is. Our way up into this platform, grab one Moo, drop him to the block below, grab the other Moo, drop ourselves through the block below, and grab that. Another shocker to propel ourselves into some more gems, and we're just racking up the points, aren't we? And there's some statues right there to refill your breath, too. Ooh, take a deep breath and bounce yourself up here. Another block to break, and another Keaton to grab. Dope! You don't do I miss up your way onto the platform here. Take a deep breath of poison. Grab the fairy. Kind of fly yourself up along this trail. Throw the guy, and duplicate those gems as well. I'm now 4 over what I'm supposed to be at. Of course, I have to grab here and grab that Keaton one more time in order to get up here. So I can grab that doll piece. Make sure you don't forget that one. That's kind of out of the way. I'll fully admit, I've missed that one once or twice on a practice file. No. Did that jump way too early. What was I even thinking there? Was I trying to go through the ceiling or what? I could probably just skip these gems because of the ones I duplicated there. In fact, that might be a speedrunning strategy, to be totally honest with you. That's the one thing. I know this game really well, but the one thing I've never touched on is the idea of speedrunning Klonoa 2. Especially a 100% speedrun. God, there's got to be so many ways to trick that out that I'm not even aware of. Oh, by the way, check this out. This is a really nerve-wracking spot right over here. You see that bar that we've got to destroy and where we have to be positioned in order to do it? Oh, yeah. They make you do this. You just got to be mindful that they give you more time on those larger disappearing platforms than they do on the small ones. And now... This is always aggravating. This has always been a really aggravating part. You never know when they're gonna come. I just got lucky with that grab right there. No, 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 no. Don't you fly off. I need you for things. Oh, can I grab it? Nope. Oh, I might be able to make this less of a pain than it usually is. Yeah, because these bugs will come out of absolutely nowhere. And one of them almost nailed me right there. Doesn't really matter, though, because we've got all of our gems. That's it for Noxious La-lakoosha. And that's it for the pain and the suffering and the aggravation. I see. So she calls herself Leorina now. High Priestess, you're not saying that... Well, that Lenorina is... Lenorina? Can I go through one episode without tripping over my own words? I'm serious now. Confound it, man. Speak English correctly. So it turns out Leorina was a priestess. That's why she has the power to use the ring herself. She was once a novitiate? That's like novice and initiate. Well, I guess Is that a real word? Hang on a second. I kind of want to Google this during the recording, but I know that would leave a huge gap in the commentary. How long must I continue this useless training? You mustn't try to rush things. You cannot expect to attain peace in the world with a hasty soul, yes? Strong inner reflection. So strong you have to close your eyes to focus on it. Fine. Notice how there was absolutely no sound effect for that question mark. I don't know why they even bother putting in just the punctuation if there's no actual sound attached to it. I'll show them all. My power will exceed that of the gods! So you want to be... How would you even attain that type of power? Like, the ability to make or destroy things completely out of nothing at will, that's defying the very laws of our universe. How do you attain power greater than that? I'm really curious. Check this out, though. In her haste to gain power, she lost sight of the true calling of a priestess. Lolo's kind of looking it right in the face now, don't you think? The whole idea that you're rushing ahead of what's the proper process is supposed to be. In your haste to gain strength, you lose sight of what's important. There are no shortcuts in life. All it leads you to is pain. I like those lights, too, right there. Sweet rave party! She's making the house shake and everything. That's some sweet bass. Even the statue is crumbling. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that the... No, that's the new priestess on the island. The old one is at the temple. Kind of symbolic right there. Destroying everything that the new world holds sacred. There it is. Oh, shit, dog. Things just got real. Look at that pattern. Even the bell seems like it's weeping in despair. Kat is just bug-eyed at all of this. She can't even believe what's happening right now. Leorna, I know you said we were going to do this, but really? You're going to bring utter darkness upon the whole world? It's like one of those real-ass moments. You're like, oh my god, I just realized the weight and the gravity of what we're doing here. I know you're committed to it, but is it too late for me to hop out at least? I mean, seriously, I've got a family and kids I need to be worried about. You must contain this terrible power that Leorna has unleashed. Well, it's not like the game is going to let me do anything else. What am I going to do? Just stand on the level select all day? It won't let me open up like a insurance agency or anything in the wake of all this. Although business would be booming due to all of the darkness that's about to be unleashed upon the planet. Oh my god, that would be a very dark turn for this game, wouldn't it? Like the hero just abandons all of his duties because he knows he's the only one who can save the world, so without him, he just takes advantage of the fact that the world is in dire peril and only he can do anything about it. So he uses it to make profit. Oh my god, you never see that in an RPG, wow. Save your adventure now. Yes, I do believe I will. And I'm going to save it over the mountains of Miramira because that episode went up over a month ago, and I don't think I'll be taking another stab at it now. And that's it. That is it for Noxious La-lakoosha. But now that we are done with that, we will be making our way to another remix stage in the next episode, which is, if Klonoa decides to walk over it there sometime in a manner convenient for my commentary, the Dark Sea of Tears. It's like we've come full circle. This giant journey throughout the land. We've climbed the highest heights. We've fought in wars. We've enjoyed ourselves at a fair. And now we're right back where we started. Until then, everybody, I am Whatthefnu, and please join me again in the next episode. Later, everybody!